Egypt consumes 18 million tons of wheat annually. More than half of it are imported. 90% of wheat comes from Russia and Ukraine. And with the current standoff between both nations, importers like Hisham Abu Dhab are bracing for the worst.
Wheat price increased during the coronavirus pandemic from $212 to $320 per ton because of the coronavirus, and is still continuing as the pandemic and its falloff continues. In the case of a Ukrainian-Russian war, the problem for Egypt will not be in the price of wheat, but to find wheat in the first place. We have to look for alternative source of wheat. The government has to move now because if the war started, then the impact will be very damaging.
The state has had a strategy of always maintaining 3 months' reserves of strategic commodities like oil, wheat and rice, but it's being amended now.
One of the main strategic plans that it used to diversify its risk, as I mentioned before, is to have a reserve of at least 5 months of reserves from wheat and 5.5 from oils and almost 5 of sugar. So this time span gives us a free hand to diversify or to be flexible in maintaining our needs and to be ready for any fluctuations in the short term. Most of the countries only keep 2 to 3 months of reserves. So 5 months are very sufficient for now.
The largest wheat importer in the world might have to turn to more expensive suppliers in Europe, like France and Portugal, if a war breaks out in Ukraine and the conflict is prolonged. But the North African nation is also working on a long-term strategy to reduce dependence on foreign suppliers.
There are several steps taken. In agriculture, the cultivated land has increased by over 2 million acres. We have now 7.26 million acres and plan to add another 1.6 million, including wheat. We also managed to increase the yield per acre so that very soon we'll be able to double the yield. For instance, 3.6 million acres will give us a yield equal to 7.2 million acres.
Wheat imports have actually dropped by 1 million tons in 2019-2020 fiscal year because of local production increase, and the state is providing financial incentives to farmers to encourage them to produce even more from this essential crop. With all these agricultural projects, the government hopes it can achieve 70% self-sufficiency in wheat by the year 2025, up from the current 53%.